Greetings, my friend. If you are watching this video or if someone sent this to you, then I urge you to pay attention, take some notes, and follow it through till the end. Because the information contained might just change your life and shift you onto a profoundly richer, healthier, more expansive, more connected track and destiny. That's what it's done for me. It's done that for so many people, and I hope that this information lands in fertile soil and can sprout into your life. And today's video is a topic that is near and dear to my heart, and one that I've been getting a lot of questions about as the awareness and use of psilocybin and microdosing of mushrooms becomes more popular. Now, let me just say that this is something that has drastically improved my own life, improved my ability to be creative, to be present, to be in tune with my own energy and that of others, to get out of my head and therefore out of my own way, right? You know those times when you want to do something, you have an initial impulse come up to say something or do something, act in some way, and sometimes it takes a little bit of courage because you don't know what people are going to think, or you're going to be judged or rejected, or whatever the issue may be, whatever the projection may be. And so by turning down rumination, which is something mushrooms do, which is also something that time in nature does, just to be aware, just to be clear, it allows you to flow more effortlessly. And that's really what I call mushrooms. The main benefit when people ask me about it is that it helps to enable more flow states. And flow states have been well studied. They're amazing. You're more productive, you're more engaged, you're more fulfilled when you have more flow in your life. And we've all been there. Those timeless moments, whether climbing a mountain, writing music, writing a book, writing a blog post, making love, making, food, eating a delicious meal, picking apples, whatever it is, climbing a tree, working out, whatever it is, playing a sport. There's so many things, video games, the list goes on. And there's so many things we can experience flow in. And psilocybin, particularly in micro doses, so I'm talking about 100 to 200, maybe up to 400 milligrams, depending on your tolerance and how big you are. So a small amount, right? 200 milligrams. So this is about 10 times less than a trip dose, which would be a dose someone would take if they wanted to have a visionary experience, right? Have more of a traditional psychedelic or plant medicine, spiritual visionary experience, which has also been well studied, most notably at Johns Hopkins University, where the people who underwent that experience said that it was in the top 5 most spiritually significant and overall life, meaningful experiences of their lives. And this was like 30 years later, they still reported that. And I know for myself, life would not be the same had I not engaged with these fungal medicines, back in, when was it? 2011 or 2012, my first time. And, over time, it's become more and more of a respected and medicinally focused practice in my life. It's not something you do all the time. It's not something you do with no care and no intention, because those are very important things. And yet, more and more people are being turned on to these things. And when you're talking microdoses, like I said, this is not for tripping. This is for cognitive enhancement, and this is also for promoting neurogenesis. Up until recently, science thought that our brain cells were a fixed number and that all we did was kill them, whether through trauma or through alcohol or through aging of some sort. Now, we know this is not true. There's a fantastic book called The Neurogenesis Diet and Lifestyle, which I'll link to below, along with other research references and resources for you. And so that book, The Neurogenesis Diet and Lifestyle, really goes into how the brain is plastic and we can grow new brain cells. We can learn new things. It's never too late. And we can reverse the cycle of neurodegeneration or Alzheimer's and dementia, which is something I've seen, very close to home with my mother's mother, degenerating in the later years of her life with that condition. And it's not something I would wish on anybody, because it is hell, truly, to see that in your loved one. And for them, I can only imagine the experience, to be losing their mind and their cognition and their ability to take care of themselves. It's not a good thing. And there's many other reasons as to why that could be the case, and there's many approaches you can take to help ease neurodegeneration and keep your brain healthy and young and sharp, which is a lot about what I teach people through lifestyle and diet and low carb, and ketogenic diets, and mindfulness and exercise and nature therapy, all these different things, and even other mushrooms like lion's mane. And so the fact that these mushrooms in such a small dose, we're talking 200 milligrams, can give all of these benefits. And not even to mention, we haven't even talked about the depression and anxiety relieving benefits that have been shown to be there with psilocybin and psilocybin mushrooms. And again, it comes back to being more present and getting out of your own head, because depression is always a self-focused, it's a selfish state where you're obsessed with yourself and, oh, poor me, and why didn't this happen for me, and oh, this should have happened, and da-da-da-da-da. Playing the victim, disempowering yourself, and not getting anywhere, being stuck in the cycle, the loop, right? Those constant negative thought loops, which are nonsense, to be quite honest, and which you just need to break your pattern in order to break that cycle. And mushrooms can do that in a fairly gentle way, in a safe way. They're non-toxic. People have taken massive amounts, hundreds of times anything you would ever want to take for therapeutic benefits, and they've lived to tell the tale. And most of them have benefited because of it, whether spiritually, whether just having their mind opened and awakened, or some other, spiritual, emotional, mental benefits or healing. These are healing teachers, right? These are wise beings. Mushrooms have been on the planet longer than us. We are more related to fungus than we are to plants, right? They breathe out CO2, so do we. They breathe in oxygen, so do we. They have immune modulating benefits that help us to stay healthy. That's why I'm always drinking chaga tea and reishi tea and foraging for these things and putting them into my diet and into my medicine cabinet. It's because they're effective and they're safe, right? So all that is to say that there's no need for fear around these things. The government and various interest groups did a great job spreading propaganda around magic mushrooms, saying you're going to, jump off a building and think you can fly, or you're going to have your brain bleed, right? Your brain's going to bleed if you eat mushrooms. Utter nonsense. Utter nonsense. If you eat, moldy, contaminated, toxin-laden mushrooms, there's probably going to be issues. But if you're eating properly dried mushrooms, and then, I like to cook them in a tea or cook them into a hot chocolate to further synergize the benefits with cacao and with some healthy fats like coconut oil or ghee, then you're not going to have those side effects, really. The side effects might be giddiness or laughter or, not taking life so seriously, which, my goodness, would be a great thing, wouldn't it? A great way to hack the anxiety and the depression cycles. And so people are waking up to this, and it really warms my heart and gives me more and more hope for the future. That people are turning on more of themselves and unlocking more of their potential and unlocking more of their innate abilities to sense and to feel and to perceive, which is what these things do. They really open up your lens of perception, open up your ability to be present, to regenerate your brain, which is very exciting, and to be more in your body. And I really think life takes place in the body. These bodies are walking miracles. that we've been loaned for a brief period, and we must take care of them if we want to experience joy and health and vitality and wellness and fulfillment and connection and all of the things that we really are here for, in my experience and in my opinion. And so that's really it. These things, magic mushrooms, psilocybin, fungal medicine, truly, and fungal teachers and guides, these can be fantastic additions to a wise, integrative wellness regime. Of course, I would never, recommend this medically. I'm not a doctor. I don't play one on the internet. I can only speak to my experience, and I can only help guide those that are interested to, make their own lives better and heal themselves and move forward. Because we can't go back. There ain't no going back. So I hope that this was insightful. Like I said, again, I'll link to some research below. If you have questions, comments, hit me up in the comments below, or hit me up via email at optimalhealth@brianhardy.ca, where you can get a hold of me. And if you enjoyed this, then go ahead and like and subscribe so you can follow along and get all the latest updates as I make more and more content on this channel, and keep sharing, what's working for me and what's helping my clients and what's helped me get here, so you can live your best life, your most integrative life, and your most holistically well life. So that's all I've got. Be well, stay beautiful, and much love, my friends. Peace.